Good morning, everyone. We're going to call our hearing to order. It's December 4th, and I'm going to have Randy lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to roll call.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here. All right, item number 4, public comment. Do we have anyone that would like to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? I'm not seeing anyone in the Zoom room or in the commission chambers. So let's move on to what we're really here for. A public hearing to consider adopting the 2024 budget for Mason County. Jen?
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm happy to be here this morning. Jennifer Byerly with Support Services. This is a public hearing to consider adoption of the 2024 budget for Mason County. Copies of the 2024 preliminary budget were made available to the public on November 20th, 2023 on our website, and the public hearing notice was advertised in the Shelton-Mason County Journal for 2 weeks prior to the public hearing. The changes since the preliminary budget was posted on the website include in non-departmental under the general fund, we added $999,100 to revenue and operating expenditures for the Commerce Jail Expansion Study Grant. The second thing under the general fund was the Sheriff's Office salaries and benefits. We added expenditures for the Sheriff's Guild contract in the amount of $907,419. And that reduced the general fund ending fund balance in the budget by the same amount, $907,419. And the last change that we made was to the Belfair Sewer Fund 413. We removed principal and interest payments of $30,232 for 2 DOE loans that had been paid off with the Commerce Grant. So those are the total changes that we made to the budget since it was published. So with that, the requested action, there's 2 options. So the first option is move to adopt the 2024 budget in the total amount of $183,209,502. The general fund is $72,294,546, and that's broken down as follows. The beginning fund balance is $28 million. Total revenues are $44,294,546 for the total revenue amount of $72,294,546, including the beginning fund balance. Salaries and benefits and expenditures are $34,802,119. Operating expenditures, $17,161,285, and ending fund balance is $20,331,142 for total expenditures of $72,294,546. Special and other funds, the total amount is $110,914,956, and that's broken down as follows. Beginning fund balances, $47,093,993. Total revenues, $63,820,963. For total revenues in the special and other funds of $110,914,956. Salaries and benefits expenditures for the special and other funds, $15,382,186. Operating expenditures, $58,143,489, and ending fund balances, $37,389,281, and total, that brings us to total expenditures in the special and other funds, $110,914,956. So again, that's option one, move to adopt the 2024 budget in the total amount of $183,209,502. The general fund, again, is $72,294,546, and the total other funds are $110,914,956. Or option two is close public comment and continue the hearing to December 19th, 2023 at 9:15 a.m. to consider adoption of the 2024 budget. And before you make a motion, I just want to thank everybody that worked on the budget. And our auditors, financial services, Leo, Shannon, Michelle, Robin, Jenny. I think I got everybody. And everybody that worked on the budget, so thank you. That's all.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff?
Not for me.
All right. Anyone in the audience or in the Zoom room have questions for staff? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so now it's time for public comment or public testimony. Do we have anyone that would like to address the commission in the Zoom room or in our room? I'm not seeing anything. All right. How about commissioner deliberation or a motion?
Madam Chair, I move adoption of the 2024 budget in the total amount of $183,209,502, with the general fund being $72,294,546, and the total other funds $110,914,956.
Madam Chair, I'll second.
All right, we do have a motion and a second to adopt the 2024 budget in the total amount of $183,209,502. General fund is $72,294,546, and the total other funds are $110,914,956. Do you have any discussion?
Just a thank you. You know how awesome you are, you know how much we appreciate you, all of you, and I gotta tell you, it's been an absolute great year to do all this. Thank you for everything, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, especially when it's this easy.
Thank you. I feel really lucky to work for such a great board and great team. It's great here. I love it. Thank you.
We are lucky because we love you. So if we didn't like you, you wouldn't be so lucky.
Yeah, just echo that word of thanks. Appreciate all the work that goes into this, and as Jen said, we'll get ready to start the next one.
Never-ending process. Yeah, truly appreciate the team and everybody. I mean, all of our departments, everybody kicked in, and you do make the process easy, especially for us. So appreciate you so much. All right. Anything else? Call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Yay. All right. Comes to the end of our meeting here.
Madam Chair, I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, we are adjourned. All right, well, good morning, everyone. It is Monday, December 4th, and we're going to begin our briefing with a closed session pursuant to RCW 42.30.1404 for labor discussions. We will be back at 10 a.m. All right, well, we've got everybody here. So let's go with, we have first up is the auditor's office. Steve, are you there?
Hey, good morning, Commissioner Trask.
Morning.
Commissioner Netherland. Good morning, Commissioner Schutte. Wanted to take a little bit of time this morning to seek formal approval for setting up vote center operations during election season going forward. I've been working with our county administrator and also with Chief Bakken up at the fire district there in Belfair. We have concurrence to set that facility up. And as part of that, we wanted to relocate the vote by mail ballot drop box that's currently located at the Belfair Timberland Library to the fire station and the old fire station, and set it up with a surveillance video camera. So just want to get everything ready for 2024. This is a big piece of it for us, the vote center up in Belfair, and wanted to get your formal thoughts and hopefully approval on that.
Commissioners, any comments or thoughts?
I'm good with it.
So, Mr. Auditor, in your briefing packet, you have that everything was factored into the auditor's office budget request for 2024.
Yes, the equipment costs, the labor costs, and everything was factored into what we requested for fiscal year 2024 in the auditor's office budget. So we're not looking for any additional monies over and above what you guys have already been reviewing.
So just to be clear, so what we approved earlier this morning will cover the costs of this without having to do a budget amendment.
That's correct.
Okay. Great. Those are my questions.
All right, well, I like the idea and putting it out by the fire station where that's our, well, kind of our building, right? But
Right.
being able to provide services there, I think it's a great idea.
All right, so the next 10 years with the ability to contract for another 10.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, well, that's it. Any other questions or comments?
None for me.
Thank you for hearing me out.
Auditor Duenkel talked with Bo about setting up there, and Bo called me and said he was fine with it. I just said, let's make sure that we identify a location for it to ensure that it's far enough off the road that we're not going to back people up onto. So as far as locations, we'll work with Auditor Duenkel on that and
Right.
make sure.
And Chief Bakken, just his one thing is that you can pretty much put it anywhere, but keep the shared driveway between the old and new fire stations clear.
Perfect. Thank you.
Do you have a spot that you're thinking about?
No, we've got to go do a little recon up there and set up a time with probably Marie and Kelly and figure out what we would like to recommend as the desired location. And we'll include Hood Canal Communications on that too, because we'll want to also put a surveillance camera on that drop box. And Chief Bakken is totally in support of the surveillance camera as well.
All right,
So,
sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. All right, down to community development, Kell.
Good morning. I actually am just turning this over to Randy Collins, our fire marshal.
Okay, well, good morning, commissioners. Randy Collins here. The item before you is the fire investigation contract for the next 2-year term. Just some background, within the unincorporated areas of a county, RCW 4344050 requires a fire marshal or other fire official as so designated by yourselves to investigate the cause and origin of all fires. Due to inadequate staffing for over 8 years, this has been satisfied by contracting with the Mason County Fire Chiefs Association. The current contract expires December 31st of this year, and this item is to renew the contract for another 2-year term, January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2025. The contract is essentially the same as been used last 2 cycles, but with the following additions. The first is a requirement that for every investigation conducted, that an investigation report is prepared in a timely manner, and that this office has the ability to review it for content and make sure it meets all applicable fire investigation standards. The second is that the requirement is included that provides minimum training qualifications for each person investigating the fires, and that's those qualifications are identified in Exhibit A, or excuse me, B. The third is that more specific language requiring each party to provide evidence of insurance or self-insurance to cover its liability obligations for operations, facilities, equipment, and personnel. And the last is that the county fund an online report writing program called Blaze Stack for the purposes of generating the reports that I referred to in item 1. And those reports follow nationally accepted standards. In terms of budgetary impacts, the price of the contract remains unchanged from the existing agreement at $82,000 per year for a total of, for the term of $164,000. Although the use of Blaze Stack will add between $5,000 to $6,000 a year, given the average expenses charged to the contract over the 4-year period have remained well below the budget amount, it is not expected to generate any additional budget impact. I should also add that as a new software program, Blaze Stack was presented and approved by the IT committee at their August 16th meeting. And because the Mason County Fire Chiefs Association is currently approved to use this same software until May 31st, our responsibility for the cost and administration of the program will not begin until June 1st, 2024, and the cost prorated. In addition, Central Mason Fire has approached us, and because they also wish to use Blaze Stack for any fires they investigate for their contract area in the city of Shelton, they have expressed interest in entering into a cost sharing agreement that will further reduce its cost. And that contract and the cost sharing agreement will be brought before you in a separate package in April or May when the time nears. In terms of public outreach, we worked extensively with the Chiefs Association to draft these changes, have meetings with them to implement the things like the investigator education and training requirements, and they were pleased with it. And at their November meeting, they voted unanimously to endorse it. So that concludes my report, unless any of you have any questions for me.
Right, commissioners, any questions?
Not for me. Thanks, Randy.
Nope.
I think it's neat that you've reached out to the city and to the other fire districts to see if they want to use Blaze Stack too. So it sounds like a great sounds like great teamwork, and I'm excited about that. That's cool.
I would agree with you, and thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Randy.
Okay. All right. That's it. I'll sign off and wish you all a nice day.
All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Randy, are you not only a fire marshal, but you're also a float judge?
A float judge?
Judge for the Christmas parade?
Well, I'm a member of the Christmas Town Kiwanis, so my job on Saturday was to help with setup and staging and marshaling and make sure everybody got in the parade in the correct sequence and order. So it made judging a little easier. But I haven't been bestowed to be a judge yet.
I saw you with a clipboard, so I figured you might be judging.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure everybody got in the proper sequence in the parade. So anyway.
Thank you.
It was an amazing event. Just
it was
thousands of people. It was awesome.
And I was just grateful it wasn't raining.
I know. I think we all were.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, all. Take care.
Thanks, Randy. All right. Anything for Kell? All right. Hearing nothing, let's go on to Public Works. Loretta?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
We have a kind of a light agenda this morning. Just want to provide you with a quick update that we did request an extension for our grant with Commerce. We have a $2 million grant through the Public Works Board. And you may recall that the purpose for this grant was to provide design, real estate for the extension for the Belfair Sewer extension. And so that was accomplished. And Richard is putting together an update for briefing next year, give you a little tour of the project to date and overall schedule. And we're anticipating closing out this project in the first quarter of 2024. Very soon. Pretty exciting. And I understand we're planning a ribbon cutting, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah,
So we'll get
definitely.
together once we get closer to nailing down the final closeout, and we'll follow up with some schedules and calendars and get that on the books. So excited to be there.
Right. Yeah. And make sure you include the legislators and the Public Works Board, because I think we're all very excited about the future.
Progress.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that Transit's excited about starting to use that system as well. So lots of good things.
All right. Commissioners, anything for Loretta?
Yeah, thanks, Loretta. Just any updates on our long haul? We have the hearing tomorrow. Just kind of want to maybe be out in front of that so we know what to expect.
Yep. Yeah. So the Cowlitz County Commissioners executed an ILA for commissioners' consideration, and we're planning to present that as part of the entire packet. So an ILA for the actual disposal of the waste, and then the contract for the collection and transport of the waste. We've been working with our attorney. So Tim's been awesome and super responsive and combing through every little nitty gritty detail on the contract. That will be wrapped up here shortly. Right now it's in cleanup mode. So the contract is being cleaned up by our admin folks. And then we'll take one last review of that and then present that to Mason County Garbage. So that is the status on that, Commissioners.
Loretta, who will take, that's the question I've been asking Mark to look into. Who's going to take the final responsibility if there's any types of fines or anything levied for cleanup in the future of the waste that we bring in if we're the ones that are signing the contract?
So we've forwarded a summary of concerns that we've heard expressed to Cowlitz County, and also forwarding that to Mason County Garbage for them to address. And we expect to hear back this week on that as well.
Okay. Because I'm making clear again, my biggest concern is I do not like the idea that we've entered into an agreement instead of the company that we are contracting with, and I'm worried that we take on the responsibilities and stuff. We're not going to get a special rate. We're getting the same rate that they charge everybody else. So why are we doing it, not them? And if I understand their argument is, well, if they do it, they'll charge us more. Well, then why are we contracting with them? Their contract or their offer is supposed to be based on what they're going to charge us, not how much we can negotiate down by taking the work off their plate. So I've got issues with that. I really worry about 10 years from now, Mason County being hit with some other lawsuit or something covering that waste, or whatever the side effect is of that waste. So, indemnification by somebody, I think, should be required here.
Okay. Any other questions about the status of the contract, Commissioners?
Maybe not so much the status of the contract, but just kind of a bigger picture question. Do you know how many other entities contract with Cowlitz to use their landfill?
As in other counties use it for a
Whether it's
disposal site.
municipalities or private haulers or whatever. I mean, just how many people is Cowlitz, how many other organizations are Cowlitz contracting with for use of their facility?
I don't know that I know the precise answer to that,
And
Commissioner.
that's more just a curiosity thing. I think listening
Yeah.
to Commissioner Netherland, just kind of curious who, who we're all.
Who else and
Right.
what are their agreements? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so, but my main concern, of course, is the liabilities and whether somebody should indemnify us if we're going to be the one entering into the contract.
All right. I will find the answer to that.
Okay, well, will Tim be at the hearing tomorrow also?
Yes, Tim was planning to attend the hearing.
All right, so we are ready for the hearing tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
We're ready to continue the hearing.
The request is, yes, to continue it to the 16th of January, Commissioners.
Okay.
And I did speak with Mason County Garbage this morning as well. Followed up last week in terms of just a status update, and they stand by, willing, able, ready. They're anxiously awaiting the contract from us to start chewing in, and believe that the 16th is a reasonable time from their perspective.
All right. Yeah, I think we're all a little anxious to
get it wrapped up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And Commissioners, if there are any other specific questions regarding Cowlitz that we need to be getting answers to, please don't hesitate to reach out to Richard or myself, and we will make sure that those are posed to our fellow partners in Cowlitz.
I know that we have a road trip planned on Friday.
Yep.
To Cowlitz. Do you know, are the commissioners planning on the Cowlitz commissioners, are they planning on being there?
I don't believe so, Commissioner Trask. If that's something that you would like us to request, we can certainly do that. But it's my understanding that Cowlitz landfill staff will be attending.
Okay, I think it would be a courtesy to reach out to the commission and let them know that we will be coming there also.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll do that.
And commissioners, that was a request from me to Loretta to go and take a look and get my eyes. I'm more of a visual person, so that's what that'll be.
I myself, like I said, my bigger concerns are more along the idea that if we're signing, we take liability, and we went out for a request for proposal for them to make an offer to do our garbage and handle the solid waste and to get rid of it, not for us to take responsibilities for that stuff. And I worry about that. I appreciate the Cowlitz County even working with us. That's all great. And I don't have the same issues that we keep getting emails on in regards to them. I just worry about the liabilities on us. That's all.
Right.
But I will look forward to hearing what you think when you get back. Because I do want to know when you get your eyes actually on it, but what if you see any issues you're worried about.
Sounds good. Okay, anything else for Loretta?
Yeah, Loretta, just excuse me, just kind of want to shift to the roadside for a second.
You bet.
As much as I enjoy our utilities and solid waste discussions, well, I guess I actually do still have a utilities question as well. So I'll stick with that for the minute. So we have to make some changes to our code to reflect what we're doing. Do we still have to do that for our utility rates for next year, or is that already taken care of? As a placeholder for our bigger decision on how we're going to implement rates.
So my understanding is we had a resolution, right, that was just
Yeah.
recently
Okay.
passed that
Was that done on
suspended.
was
Yes,
that done on the 21st?
yes, yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so then just back on the road side of things then.
Yep.
So if we could get just an update from Mike on Beeville Loop
Okay,
and where we're at with evaluating it. And I heard there might be some issues on the other side of Beeville Loop that are similar. And so just want to make sure that just want to get whatever information you all have on that.
okay, yes, we will do that. I know that there was some coordination with the folks that are doing a reach analysis for that stream to see who may be also doing some additional outreach to the community. And we'll follow up and get that buttoned up and get back before you, commissioners.
Perfect. And then a couple of weeks ago, I think you might have been out and Mike was covering. We had asked for some outreach or like a survey or something to go to the Island Lake folks about some needs in their neighborhood, and just kind of put that back on the radar and see if Mike had put any thoughts into that or what that might be.
And the survey, I'm sorry, Commissioner, was that about pedestrian use, I'm guessing, or speed, or both, or?
Both, for sure.
Both, okay.
Yep. And an option, whatever, just kind of getting some public feedback on their perception of the issues and help inform some decision making on our side.
All right. We'll get working on that. Commissioners, would you like to see a draft of the survey prior? That's what we're bringing back, is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can do.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, commissioners, anything else?
Merry Christmas.
Right here. It's coming. Happy belated Thanksgiving.
All right, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thanks, commissioners.
All right, Mark, you're up.
Alrighty, I'm going to turn it over to Diane. She's got 3 topics on the list for you today.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm asking to renew our contract with Crossroads for our Belfair office space for the Veteran Service Officer. The rent remains the same at the $550 a month. Good with that?
Good with that.
Mm-hmm.
How many do we get that come in? And I'm wondering, because now we have the building, the new fire station.
I know where they're located is part of that is they have some front desk reception services. So I don't know, because I think we did talk about that, but I wasn't sure if they would have the same level of service if we moved them, because it's just I think 1 or 2 volunteers.
Okay. Yeah, I know and that's a known location also, so it probably does make it better.
And and they're pretty active. I know we track how many, and we seem to get them on a weekly basis from Belfair. But I can check and see exactly what they get at the location they're at.
Okay.
And my next item is I'm requesting we set the public hearing to sell the surplus property. It's that little tiny piece out on Sherwood Avenue out in Allen. We surplused it back in October. And I am asking that we set it so we can hold the hearing December 19th and have it done this year, which means I would need to ask that the agenda be amended tomorrow so we can get that hearing advertised.
I don't know. Did you talk to Mackenzie?
I did.
I'm fine.
Who am I to tell Diane now?
Yeah, I was gonna say it makes us hard to get mad at anybody else though when we're doing it. So
So we're good. Okay, so we'll hold the hearing on the 19th. And then my last item is Thurston County's asking for concurrence with their reappointment to the Timberland Regional Library Board.
Hey, commissioners, I had a quick conversation last week with Dr. Sebi, who's our trustee on the board, and he had no issue with us moving forward with concurring on this appointment. And so I'm good with it as well.
Okay. I'm glad you reached out to him to find out. So thank you for doing that. Yep, I'm good.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, our next topic is Jen. This is you're gonna have to scratch off the memory banks a little bit on this one. We've talked a little bit about it in the past, especially when we were really diving into the Belfair sewer. So this is regarding the payoff of general obligation debt that we have planned for 2027, I believe. Jen, do you want to, and this would just be making sure that the commissioners have agreed to this as we put it into our CFP portion of our comprehensive plan. Jen?
Yeah, so this is just a plan. So in 2020 and 2021, we refinanced some debt into bonds. And so one of those bonds includes REIT 1 and Belfair Sewer debt that was refinanced. So the payment on the bond is split between REIT 1 and Belfair Sewer. The Belfair Sewer portion, of course, is funded primarily by REIT 2 funding, a transfer out of REIT 2 into Belfair. And so what I'm asking is just to put this into the CFP. I just wanted to really make you aware it's informational only. When we pay off that debt for Belfair in 2027, if we stick to that plan, we'll either need to refinance this bond into something else or pay it off as well. So my preference, of course, if we have the cash, is to pay it off. I mean, unless the interest rates drop again and it doesn't make sense to pay that off, that would be an exception. But really what I'm asking is just to put this in the CFP plan in 2027.
Commissioners?
There was $537,471 that will be left over on that general obligation debt. So when we go to pay off, because you're reserving money in REIT 2 right now to pay off the Belfair portion, that remaining portion, right, Jen, is $537,471.
That's correct. Yes.
And that was for something to do with building 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, my notes from my amortization schedule have that we refinanced the Mason County LTGO 2008 bonds. That's the Third and Pine, which is the sheriff's office, and then the Mason County LTGO 2019 bonds, which is 414 West Franklin Street, which is building 10, so the new district court facility. So a smaller portion of that. So that's what makes up the REIT 1 balance of the total that's shared with Belfair Sewer. So REIT 1's portion is 28.99% of the total principal amount, and Belfair Sewer is 71.01%.
And I brought this up at I'm about to mention, I brought up at the audit committee. We're looking into the future, and depending on what rates are like, you always have to think about it. Right now, we're currently bringing in more money by holding on to money than we would benefit by paying off low interest loans, because the amount that we're bringing in is so high. So it's something to consider when the time comes to make sure that the amount of interest that we're paying on this, if it's tiny, did we ever find out what it was? The amount of interest?
I mean, it varies every year with the bonds. Of course, it goes down. I mean, it looks to be about overall maybe around 4.5% in total, roughly.
On this one?
Yeah.
On the refinance?
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was done through a bond instead of the bank. So yeah, but just something for us to keep in mind when the time comes, that we don't cut off our nose, spite our face if we have more income coming off of investments when it comes to paying off early. But it'll be something questionable.
Yes,
Not
I would just like
favorable
to ask to put it in the plan. We can definitely change in 2027 if it doesn't make sense at that time.
I'm in favor.
Yeah, I think this is great. Great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, thank you. That's all I have.
Oh, no, thank you. All right, commissioners, anything for Mark? Or Mark, do you have anything more for us?
I don't believe so.
Pretty productive day. All right, commissioners, so tomorrow, or well, do we have any discussion that we'd like to bring up today?
Not for me.
All right,
If anybody sees any brown glasses laying around anywhere, they're mine. They seem to have disappeared. I can't find them. So
uh-oh, did you check your notebook?
yeah, I'm using my emergency pair now.
What about your pockets?
Yeah, not there.
Okay.
All right, lots of times they're on the top of my head. Where them in there.
I remember sticking one out of my pocket at one time, but who knows? I just have a picture of it in the last few days. I have no idea what I did.
All righty, well, we'll all keep an eye open. All right, commissioners, we're back here tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Madam Chair, move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, we're adjourned and see everybody tomorrow.
Merry Christmas, everybody.